Heroes and villains, welcome back to the channel. Genesis 7 here. Hope you are all doing well. It is another month and another update for DC Heroes and Villains. We're going to be going over the community update, get a little bit excited and talk about everything they have to say in this update. So of course this is a video with a lot of talking, so if you want to tab out and do your daily chores or just listen to me in the background, feel free. I do advise probably speeding up the video because it's going to be a long one, and of course I've got you covered with timestamps if there is something in particular you want to look out for, aka probably worldwide launch news. So with that all being said, please support the channel by hitting the thumbs up button, leaving a comment down below, and if you want to subscribe to the channel for more DC Heroes and Villains content, then please, that will help me out considerably. So without further ado, let's go over to the community post. And of course, when we're doing some reading, I am going to equip myself with my glasses so I can see. So we have the March 2023 update. Here we go. Hello, heroes and villains. Our next big game update is around the corner, which means it's time to give you a proper update on how our roadmap has evolved through another community update. Our next release is coming faster than we originally planned. Because of this, soft launch update 6 will come with a few less features than we had discussed since the last community update, and that was the beefy one. It was the last video that I actually recorded for DC Heroes and Villains. So it looks like they're taking a step back with a few things, but I'm sure this will explain it. After reviewing our last roadmap, the team has come to the conclusion that it would be best to release our next planned updates more quickly, allowing our players to experience new changes and features in order to gather all possible feedback, thus helping create a better game leading to worldwide launch. That is that word that everyone's looking out for in this post, worldwide launch. So point 1, this allows us to get the latest and greatest version of the game in your hands more quickly, which means we get to hear your feedback and iterate the changes faster. This makes it easy to measure the impact of each individual change we introduce to our players. We get to see what works and what doesn't more quickly, allowing us to determine the changes we need to make in the future. It helps our team get into more of a live game mindset. In other words, with the game coming this year, we need to make sure that we're all ready to support the game rapidly. We have tons of features and content planned beyond launch, and we need to make sure that we are doing that with minimal downtime and bug-free as possible. With that in mind, here's our updated roadmap. And you know, it's pretty funny actually. I was reading over this and I was thinking, oh, the timeline has changed again. And then I was like, hold on a minute, the timeline has changed and they're using the Flash for the image for the timeline. So it all makes sense. They're feeding into that DC lore. The Flash has the power to change the timelines, hence why the timeline keeps changing. But just kind of before we look at this image here with the roadmap, those points are very important leading up to launch, because they want to get in that live game mindset, which means they're almost ready. They want to really listen to the soft launch players and with this next update, and they want to respond accordingly, like the game is open to everybody, and that's important. Most games would soft launch, typically would soft launch with that in mind, but obviously DC Heroes and Villains have the approach where they've done it for quite a while, from the bare bones, building it upwards and gathering data the long way. So I really do think that worldwide launch, you know, it is very close, and this update in particular sounds like we may be getting it sooner than later, and of course I'll have all the coverage on the channel as always. So let's have a look at this roadmap. We're going to ignore soft launch 5 because we've gone over that, we've showcased it on the channel. Look at the DC Heroes and Villains playlist on the channel to kind of look at all those update videos and talking about it. So let's have a look at soft launch 6 here. It says late March, early April, and we're at late March now, so you know that's very close. We get the new home screen, revamped location maps, character management and training improvements, and visual and gameplay polishing and optimization. Soft launch 7 TBD. Battle pass, choice missions, challenges and milestone events. So it looks like they're bringing back this. Like they said, a few things are missing. This was all originally in the previous post all one collective thing, but it looks like they're staggering it, and looking at the order that they're staggering it makes sense for a worldwide launch. Soft launch 8 is PvP and UI polish and optimization, which is like final touches. You want your PvP in there, and it's all going to go according to plan, hopefully, and then worldwide release. We're getting there, and I know it might sound like a broken record, like we've been waiting for ages, but they've done their best. We've had many changes throughout the soft launch. I've been there for it all, so it might be easier for me not to get as frustrated. And I get your guys' frustration that wants the game now, because it got announced at DC Fandom 2021, I think, or it might have been, yeah, it would have been 2021, the end of 2021. So I get it, I get the frustration, and again, it might be easy for me to kind of talk about this stuff because I've been playing since the game went into soft launch. But looking at this, I have good faith that, you know, in a couple of months' time, we'll all be chatting. We'll be seeing more content creators busting out videos, and we can really get the community just like. But for the time being, join the Discord. I'll have the links in the description as always, and get involved with all the socials, and hopefully we'll get there. So let's talk about what we're going to be seeing in this update in particular, which I'm sure we'll be seeing very soon. Character balancing. As we mentioned in the last update, every character in the game is getting an overhaul, so the roles are clarified, groups have stronger identities, and the metagame balance is considered. This release is our first pass at this, and we are not 100% there yet. For example, group bonuses are generic, and many power moves and passive upgrades are simple, so they're like still working it. We noticed that in the last update that upgrades were quite generic. It seems like they've really reworked the core, so we should get an impression of how those power moves are going to be upgraded when we look into them a little bit more. But as for now, they're going to be generic upgrades. But the new foundation is there. Exactly, that's what I just said. Like they know what they're doing. They've got what literally the final form of the balancing and the metagame in their minds. They know how it's going to go. We can't wait for you to play these new characters in order to gather all the information needed to iron out these features. So they want everyone involved with soft launch to get on there. So if you have access to soft launch, obviously all the locations like always escape my mind. But if you are in those soft launch locations, get on and throw yourself at the game and throw that data, because the sooner they get it, the sooner they're going to sharpen the tools that they need to finalize it. So character management. The new character management screen is here, and we can see that just here. Group and faction affiliation is more obvious. Gear functionality is improved, and leveling is streamlined. And off the bat, someone who's played since the beginning of soft launch, this character screen is such an evolution of what we've had from the beginning to now. It looks so silky smooth, so simple. Everything you need to know is there. It looks like that piece of paper. It looks like a book. Is all the information you need that we had beforehand. You know, like if it's a villain, Metropolis or Gotham, their hero color, etc. Looks like it's on that piece of paper, and they just have one single role. So everything is very simple. So we can definitely get those team synergies together faster. UI polish. As you can see, a ton of new UI changes across the whole game. Aside from the character management screen, the buttons, pop-ups, background, and most other areas are improved. So that's the most thing I'm most excited for, is just that finalized kind of UI look. And you can see by that Harley Quinn image just there how much that has improved since the inception of the character management screen. So kudos to the team for that. The home screen, and the home screen is another screen I'm looking excited for. We teased it last time, but now you can check out the new home screen. This is your base of operations for your heroes and villains. You'll see your characters hanging out, have quick access to features, and then enjoy the uncluttered location maps that solely focus on the campaign and event missions. And as you can see there, we've got our featured banners, which is a good thing for a gacha game. You want those featured banners. You want people to spend their gems and maybe, you know, reach into their pockets if they've got decent characters with decent rates. Everyone knows how the gacha games work. We can't fault it. Mailbox, they've got 4 to read, so they need to hurry up and read those before they expire. But just looking at that home screen, very sleek. I'm loving all the icons design. I just can't wait to just kind of mess around with it. I can't wait to see how smooth it feels when we're playing. So let's move on to location maps, and again, this is something that looks absolutely awesome when you've experienced the game since its inception. We've also gave a glimpse of the newer location maps in the previous update, but now you can experience for yourself. The holographic style is way more detailed, the effects are more engaging, and you can even zoom into each sector to see the individual missions. With this change, you're able to interact more directly with the map that we feel delivering the quality that cities like Gotham deserve. So it looks like we see in that image on screen right now, those buildings that are in blue. I'm hoping that we can zoom into them. It looks like they are 3D models that they've made. Whatever assets they've used, it looks like a 3D model. So I'm hoping that we can click on it and just have a look around. I'd love to see their kind of geometry, and I'm trying to use advanced words here to sound smart, but I'd love to just get that just a bit more deeper detail and just look at the love that's been put into the game. So I'm excited for the location map. So with this new view, we've also added side missions and star rewards for each sector of a location. So side missions, faction specific missions that challenge you to assemble your best teams of heroes and villains. Star rewards earn stars on every mission to collect more of those sweet gems. So it looks like a heavy emphasis on gems, which is nice, especially when you look at it as for a free-to-play perspective. That, you know, putting the effort, going back to missions and maxing out the stars, you're going to get those sweet gems. So moving on to a few other things that we're going to see. Epic boss fights, and I know that this is awesomely received when we had it introduced in a couple of updates ago. As you go through the campaign, you'll run into several more epic boss fights similar to Darkside and Enchantress battles in the tutorial, which everyone seemed to enjoy. We loved it. We want more of those, and we want them implemented into guild battles as well. We won't spoil them for you, but we're definitely looking forward to your feedback. Now, I've never really showcased the epic boss fights because the key words are epic. You want to experience it for yourself, so don't expect me to feature them on the channel. I might think about it, but I'm really respectful of like how I feel when I see something new and epic, and I want people to feel that the same. So if you want to look up other videos on the internet of people posting those epic boss fights, then power to you, but I just respect and really believe in experiencing it for yourself for the first time. Narrative. The new narrative in Gotham and Metropolis are now available, so it looks like they've completed the story because now that they don't have the individual villain and hero pass, we've got one kind of secluded, one concrete story, and it looks like it involves the Church of Blood, which is more coherent. The plot thickens if you delve into Metropolis. Again, critical moments are highlighted by epic boss fights, and we're looking to add more in the future releases, which is really, really cool. Like, honestly, I didn't expect epic boss fights to kind of catch me the way they did. They just... and it looks like it ties into this next bullet point as well, which is new music. You can now enjoy new music at the home screen, menus, and Metropolis. So it looks like each map's going to have its own theme, which is fantastic. Kind of makes everything feel unique. Maybe epic boss battles will get their own theme that really feels epic. Let's get some electric guitars in there. Let's really like have this feel epic. We have a ton of more audio polish coming to future releases as well, so I'm assuming that's sound effects, etc. For now, lots of characters are missing sound effects, so we can know that sound can generally improve across the game. So that's great to know. So everyone's hit might sound unique, so Superman's punch is going to sound different to Batman's Batarang or Nightwing's Escrom 6. Probably pronounced that wrong, but you know what I mean. Battle updates. Our dedicated battle team continues to make our battles shine. All of the improvements we mentioned in the last update are now available. Enemies now have hit reaction animations. Really interested to see that. We've improved the VFX when using the target tile, which is created by 2x2 match. Interested to see that. Better pacing throughout the battle, allowing power moves to trigger simultaneously, improved communication of different combat states, buffs, debuffs, melee range, power moves, etc. So I'm assuming that we can hold on to a character and we can see debuffs and buffs more clearly, which really helps me out when I get really into the content and make some kind of character overviews to kind of really dive into deep with the buffs and debuffs, which is nice. But wait, some stuff is missing. We noticed that in the timeline. The Flash has changed the timeline once again. This is the start of major improvements for the game. So you'll also notice several old features have been disabled in this release, going along with our goal to keep our updates focused. Challenge, events, assault mode, guild raid battles, choice missions, and the battle pass are temporarily unavailable. Now, a lot of people have obviously shook their shoulders and be like, what? You look at these things that are not involved right now. These are the key things for like a game that's hitting its worldwide launch. These are the features that you want to really shine, especially when it comes to other players' interactivity with guild raid battles and PvP. So gets me excited. It gets me a little bit excited that they're hard at work. When these come out, we're pretty much there. So since we're playing on more frequent updates, however, you see them return progressively over the next few months. It also gives us a bit of a timeline when to expect the game. I may have a prediction at the end of the video. We'll see. Future releases. We hope that you're excited as we are about all the new changes to the game. I am. That's my personal opinion. I'm always excited. That's why I make the content. I'm hoping I can share that excitement. Let's have a look what is next. So choice missions. We went over this in the last update video, but essentially these are going to spawn randomly throughout the day. To give players more agency, increase the overall fun. Everyone gets a scanner that's available. Scanner has fixed amount of scans, and tapping the scanner reveals one choice mission on a landmark, which will be available at a limited time. In the future iterations, choice missions will add rarities, which is nice, so common, rare, legendary, epic, or what you'd expect the tiers in a mobile game would be. But you can expect at least one more rarity that come at higher stakes scenarios and better rewards. So if I would have to guess, it would be like maybe taking in particular characters, maybe like Lex Luther is causing mayhem, and you need to have Superman in your team. So if you haven't got Superman unlocked, you're going to be gated in that certain thing. But if you have got Superman, then these rewards are going to be awesome because you've met the requirements. I do like those in mobile games when it really because it taps into your luck and through the gacha and stuff. I just like having. I've mentioned it a long time ago, like a Flash event in the future. Let's go forward 3 years, and we've got like Barry Allen, Jay Garrick, Wally West. Everyone, all the Flashes and the bad guy Flashes and everything else in between, and there's a specific Flash event that happens, like a Flashpoint. You found it with the scanner, and you can only take Flash things, and you get Flash upgrade materials, something like that. That's what I've always like envisioned since the beginning. When I was like, all right, character focused kind of missions when specific characters, not heroes and villains. So, Battle Pass. Choice missions will still be important. The way to advance the Battle Pass, so I assume it's probably the currency you'll get from choice missions. The two together in the next, so we're pairing the two together in the next release. As we said in the previous update, we've decided to simplify the Battle Pass down to a single track to make things easier to understand. This will also come with significant better rewards, the completely free start pass that provides a guaranteed character plus a featured character in each premium monthly pass after that, which is good. A lot of mobile games do that, so the fact that they've got that ready to come in the future update is a plus in my eyes. PvP Assault Mode. Choice missions and Battle Pass are the primary stars of the next release, but we're targeted PvP after that. So we've missed the mark with our first attempt at PvP. I think that might be just to do with the overall kind of matchmaking and the bots that were in there. Maybe it didn't meet their vision. So it looks like they're reworking it as a casual PvP, which went into detail in the last update. You'll have UI improvements, focus on early players experimenting with their teams, earning more rewards. Instead of leaderboards, PvP will all about advancing in leagues and earning valuable items along the way. We also won't restrict it to heroes and villain teams. and opponent selection will be clarified. So basically pick your own team that have no restrictions, which is nice. And they still plan on doing a competitive version of PvP, but I'm assuming that the data from this casual PvP will be very important to see what they want to do with a more competitive PvP. So we'll see how things go. Guild raids. There are a lot we can do with guilds, but our first goal is to improve the UI, increase raid boss variety, and make it more fun to coordinate with your guild. We have a lot to do before we get back to guild raids though, so for more details of future update. I'm assuming they're gonna tap into the epic boss fights with the guild raids. That's what I'm hoping. Obviously we had Trigon, which seemed unusual because Trigon was like visioned as the big bad of the original trailer. Maybe they're just reworking it. Maybe Trigon ain't going to be the one that's going to be first. We got introduced to Darkseid, which had a few mechanics that they were toying with, like blocking certain tiles. So they definitely got the mindset there. I think they just really want to work at it, so it really feels like you are working together to take something down. So, preparing for releases as we continue to work on the worldwide release coming later this year. It's coming later this year. I think if I was to throw a month, I'm going to say June. That is the month of choice. June, July. That is my double choice. That's what I'm going with. This update is our biggest yet, and because of the upcoming changes to the game, team decided another in-game reset is needed in order to better understand how the new changes will affect the players. Which this one completely makes sense. There's been a few others that have been like a little bit questionable resets, but this one makes sense because it feels like this. I feel like this is the worldwide reset. That was a bit of a tongue twister there with the R's and the W's. I feel like this is the one, and I think I can see a little bit later that they might change it. So I'll talk about it when we get to that. Just like our other resets in the past, current soft launch players will be compensated, and if you've spent money, you would have been compensated as well. So compensation is based on the following factors: account level and amount spent. Using the above factors, affected players will receive an in-game email. If you believe that your compensation is incorrect, contact support. And then let's move on to some FAQs. This will just kind of tie into what I was just on about with the resets. Why did they do another reset? I think this is quite obvious, but with the recent changes to the campaign, overall balancing, we want all our current soft launch players to experience the new game experience, because it's going to be really different. Like, they introduced 2 epic boss fights in what was it, Darkseid and Enchantress, or it might have been Trigon. No, Darkseid and Enchantress. So they're introducing a few more, and obviously they've completed the narrative now. So they want the soft launch players to at least experience that, and I want to experience that, so I don't mind in that respect. But the main reason is because of the characters completely being redone. So this reset helps us better understand the changes that were implied and helps the team gather the proper data needed to make the game best experience possible, which makes sense. Here's the key one. Will there be another reset? At this time, nothing is planned. But as we continue to gather data after this next reset, we will have a better understanding of our overall idea if we need to perform another global reset. So it really depends. What I'm getting from this is if there's significant changes that they need to make to characters, then they'll have a reset, but it's not going to be based on if I grind to level 50 again. Like, they're not taking that into consideration, because remember, our PvP is going to be casual and guild raids are being reworked. So I'm hopeful that this is the last reset, but I'm sure they'll have a clear instruction to why, a clear reason to why they would have another reset. Where can I collect my compensation? In-game email will be sent to all affected players. If you're a player that had monetary investment, you'll receive 2 in-game emails. If there's something wrong with your compensation, contact support. There is a link there. And then here we go. We are finishing off the slides here with worldwide launch. It is 2023 and we are launching this year with so much coming in the next release, though it's still too early to give an exact date. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, really? Still no date? I feel like this is the light at the end of the tunnel. Again, like I said, might sound like a broken record, but something I've noticed, we've got an update every month. This year we've had an update in January, update in February, update now, So everything is, you know, going as according to it, going as plainly as it can be right now. So I'm hoping that, you know, the frustration dies down a little bit. I do think this is the light at the end of the tunnel. So let's just hope. Let's just be hopeful that everything is going to be smoothly. And again, they've updated their pre-registration rewards. In case you've missed it, we've revamped our pre-registration rewards for everyone when the game launches this year. Everyone who's pre-registered will receive the following items at launch, and you got the exclusive portrait, as you can see in the image. You get some more gems, coins, metatopes, Catwoman for free, player title, the Pioneer, and yeah, it's shaping up to be something pretty cool, I think. I really can't wait to dive into this update, and I really hope that we're going to be doing this next week, if I'm honest. So expect some more videos from me. If you can help, if you're a player that has access to soft launch build that is available in Belgium, Denmark, Philippines, Switzerland, Sweden, Norway, and the Netherlands, and we're always looking for your feedback. Join the Discord server and obviously follow the socials. All the links will be down below for you to do that. And let's go back to my beautiful face. Shall I take the glasses off? I've got the mark. Have I got the mark? I've got the mark slightly, so we'll keep them on. There we have it. The March 2023 update. Again, we've been getting updates every month this year, so that leads me to believe that we're going to continue to get updates every month. That makes me hopeful that worldwide launch is very, very close. Again, I get people's frustration. A lot of people literally come into the Discord and ask when worldwide launch is, and that's it. That they'll disappear. So I'm hoping that now with this update going out, footage going out from my end as well, covering all of this, we can get that hype going and be excited for DC Heroes and Villains. So I'm going to wrap it up. It's been about nearly 25 minutes. If you've been watching at 2 times speed, then it would have been about 12 minutes. So thank you for watching, and until next time, guys, I'll catch you on the flip side.